choose your battles and your priorities. And I think that's one that will also play out and we should look into, but I think we're trying to focus our time on dealing with the obstruction, the stonewalling of the subpoenas that we have issued, and we're trying to bring the American people to understand that not only has this president broken the law, but now he's obstructing and stonewalling him and his administration, the constitutional responsibility that Congress has. So I would say that the Judiciary Committee at some point can turn their attention to addressing this continued important issue with Mr. Kavanaugh. But for the time being, I think the House is focused on the impeachment inquiry of this administration and this president.
The person is not here, but I can speak for her. I think she was wondering why couldn't just bundle up all of them: Bill Barr, Gorsuch,
bundle them
Kavanaugh, and just
to focus.
Impeach them all.
Yes. Well, why wasn't Corey Lewandowski charged with contempt of Congress, you asked?
Yes.
And I would say, first we're seeing the obstruction and stonewalling. You can hold someone in contempt, but what does that do? We have to send somebody to jail to apprehend and jail these individuals. And at some point that likely can and will happen. But I think first we just need to show the American people that these people are stonewalling and they're not cooperating with our subpoenas. And when they do, the few that do show up, which is very few and rare, they are not cooperating. They can be the best judge of character by seeing these hearings play out. What better way for the American people to understand what's transpiring than by seeing it firsthand in a hearing in their TVs? So I think first that's the approach that has been taken.
It seems to me, however, I'm sorry to be interrupted, but it seems to me that using it, quote, as an educational is kind of a hit and miss with people who watch various kinds of TV, and some who never watch news, some who never, they don't, there are people, you've heard them speak, oh, I didn't know about that. Something that is an issue that has been boiling for months. Oh, I didn't know about that. And they really didn't.
Yeah. Well, now you know the challenge of having to make sure we do everything to educate the American people.
But,
you know what they say about marketing, right? Until
not
somebody hears it 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, if they're not going to hear it from the news, where are they going to hear it?
Well, I think, there's many vehicles. All we can do is continue to try to push out the information. So, hello.
One of the strategies, how do you feel
Salud.
about Kamala Harris?
Can I come back to that?
Sorry.
I hope you do.
Okay.
Wait until he's answered
I'll come back to that. The other issue is the Saudi-led war in Yemen. I am part of legislation and I have voted for the National Defense Authorization Act to preclude this administration from continuing to aid and support the Saudis in their war against Yemen and creating the humanitarian crisis that we are seeing. Also, our administration has allowed the Department of Defense to help fuel Saudi airplanes in the air while they're conducting their operations. I have voted time and time again and have been an advocate of ending our support of the Saudi-led effort in Yemen that's against the Houthis that is creating this humanitarian crisis. So, and I continue to be an advocate for that through the National Defense Authorization Act. Another issue is the Environmental Protection Agency just finalized a rule eliminating California's authority to set emissions. I touched on that earlier,
Yes.
How it's audacious that this president would try to continue to undermine California's sovereignty and states' rights to build on increasing the type of emission standards that we want to have from vehicles in our state of California. And he's not only coming after California, he's coming after other states. And it's audacious, and obviously we're suing and doing everything we can. Why is Bill Barr not also being investigated for impeachment? Well, it goes back to some of the other questions. I think